Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Metal Magdalene with Jet right here on Metal Messiah Radio. Tonight we have a few special guests with us. We have back on the show Nick Reyes of Inferion, and we also have Frank Gross of Inferion. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hey, how's everybody doing? All right, cool.
Okay, so for people that don't already know, tell us a little history about the band.
So basically, we started in '97 in Miami, playing in fucking garages and recording on 4 tracks. And we started off as like a thrash, raw black metal band, I guess. You kind of that style, and it kind of evolved over time. You know, we've done about 10 albums now, I think, something like that, and we've been playing ever since. We had the we put out Fire War in 2003, and that was like I guess it was the biggest album that we had put out, and then we put out the Desolate, and then things started taking off from there, and we put out This Will Decay last year on Horror, Pain, Gore, Death, and everything's been going real good so far, and we're working on a new album.
So tell us what the current lineup is of the band.
So the current lineup right now is Frank Gross, who is on the party line over here.
That's me. Hey, what's up?
And he is on bass and vocals and the triangle, and I am guitars and vocals and the bagpipes as well. We've got Carlos, who plays drums as well as the lute, and we've got Ray Mitchell, who is our guitar player / harmonica player.
Yeah, I joined the band. Nick, maybe you can fill us in on this. When was it that I joined in? I know it was right after the Fire War, and then we did Desolate, right?
Yep. So Frank used to play in Cult of Azazel, which a lot of people will know and recognize and all that. And so when we had released Fire War, I needed a bass player to play live, so I called up my good buddy Frank Gross, and we've been inseparable ever since.
That's so sweet.
Shut up, Frank. That's great.
So, since the last album came out, what kind of touring have you guys been doing? I mean, didn't you go to, like, Colombia or something?
Yep. So we went to Colombia in the summer of 2015, and we did the Decibel tour last year, opening up for a bath or a bath or some baths or whatever, however you pronounce it. I don't mean to butcher it, but and Skeleton Witch and High on Fire. So so that's all we've done pretty much, and we've done some shows in Miami too. We did the Death to Miami Fest last year. We did the Silent Mara Cancer Benefit show in August as well, and that was the last time that we've played. We've just been working on new material lately.
And yeah, recently, right, you had mentioned that you were writing a new album, working on a video. So what can you tell us about all that?
So, well, Frank, Ray, and I have been working pretty diligently on a new album, and we've got a new song that we're going to play for our 20-year anniversary show that we're having at Churchill's next month. And the new song is called Koyanis Katsi, and that's in the Hopi language, which is a Native American dialect. It's a phrase that means life out of balance. So that's the name of the new track. And we've got Ray, who did a guitar playthrough to it, and we're probably going to release a demo, tentative version of the track a week before the show at the Kryptonite Fest, the 18th of February.
Are we going to do that are we going to release that on YouTube? We're going to post that on YouTube?
Yeah. So it's already on YouTube and on our social media and all that good stuff.
So, in writing this album, are you guys going to do anything differently on this album? I mean, are you really going to break out the triangle and bagpipes this time around? Or are you going to keep it? Are you going to keep it standard Inferion style?
I'll let the triangle master Frank Gross over there describe that.
We might add a little bit of grand piano in there, and maybe add some flute and some violin, maybe a piccolo. Who knows?
Oh God! And then then a female Irish Gaelic singer too, I suppose.
No, definitely not. That's where I draw the line.
There won't be any clean vocals, but there's going to be definitely a lot of more anger, more things touched on anger, and there's going to be a lot of hatred coming from Nick's voice, but we're still going to keep it black metal and all that good stuff.
Right. So basically, what he means is that we're exploring other sonic avenues that we haven't touched on yet. So, I mean, for those of you, a lot of people know that we're not really big, or we haven't been really big on synths, on different instruments and stuff like that up until now. And now we're going to start experimenting with different instruments and stuff like that. They'll add a new level to the band and a new depth to the music. So. We're going to try that this time around.
So how far along on the album have you guys gotten, and when do you think that you're going to have it complete and released around-ish?
That's a two-part question. I'll let Frank tell everybody how the status is coming along, and then I'll fill everybody in on when the date.
Status. Yeah, I don't have a status yet.
We'll make one up.
I could tell you that we're thoroughly going through each individual song that we've chosen for the album, and we're picking it apart and making sure everything sounds right, including the new types of instruments, and it's all. And I'm mentioning Ray here. A lot's going to be dependent upon Ray and getting his stuff done.
So do you guys basically have the entire albums already written?
Pretty much, yeah. So usually the way that we write, we like to have a skeleton, and this has been our writing style pretty much ever since the late '90s. And we vary it a little bit. So basically, what we have is we have a skeleton. We'll write 14 tracks, or we'll write X number of tracks. Most of it will be dog shit, but that's that's all bands do that, you know what I mean? And then out of the dog shit, usually we'll come up with about 8 really, really, really good songs, and then the rest we'll identify as filler or whatever it is, and then just get rid of it. But typically out of all the music that we write, and I don't mean to call it dog shit, I'm just exaggerating, being an idiot, but
we write is dog shit. Yeah. Right.
So, anyways, what I mean is, we just pick the best 8 tracks, and then we kind of go through them again and pick the pieces apart. Once we have the magic number that we're looking for, we'll go back through and we'll identify like any riffs that we're not really too crazy about, and we'll replace them, or we'll rework them and do it like that. So right now, I would say we're about 25% of the way through, if I were to put, percentage on it. And we're looking to have it out probably, I would say late summer, early fall, something like that.
And you mentioned that you have your 20th anniversary celebration coming up at Churchill's?
That's right. So it's officially, unofficially our 20 years playing music, which is actually pretty cool. I never thought that we'd make it this far. It's kind of crazy. But so officially, obviously, it's the Kryptonite Metal Festival that happens every year in Miami, and lots of good bands play there. And this year, some of the bands that are playing is Silent Mara, Supremia is playing, Right to Bear Arms, Escape is playing, Catabatic is playing. There's a whole bunch of really, really good bands that are playing. So that we're using that as our, celebration 20th anniversary thing, and we're actually going to play one of the first songs that we wrote and actually helped us, get put on the map. I guess you'd say "Rome of Solitude," which has been, on a couple of different albums and stuff like that, and a lot of people know and identify with. So we're going to get the original members to actually help us out with that song. So it's going to be kind of cool.
And so, what else do you guys have coming up for the rest of the year? Besides, I know you're writing the album and you got that Kryptonite Festival, but do you have anything else planned for the year?
Actually, yeah. We're thinking about going back to South America. So some of the tour dates are being thrown around right now, but it looks like it's going to happen sometime this summer, and that's what we got going on for the rest of 2017 so far, maybe a South American tour. And Frank is also working on a follow-up to his book, Wolfgang, that he released last year. So I'm going to let him tell you guys a little bit about that.
Yeah, so not only do we write music, but I've also delved into the writing industry. And I've worked on, actually debuted my first novel this past September in 2016. And so I've been working on that and, getting a little bit of fiction into the life, into the whole scene of everything. We're everybody's excited about it. It is fantasy fiction. It's about vampire hunting, fun stuff like that. And I've been trying to promote as much as I can. If for anybody listening out there, you can go to www.wolfgangchronicles.com to find out more information about it. You can also look up, I've been doing actual spoken word chapter readings of the book itself. And I've been publishing those on YouTube every week. So if you want to tune in, you can friend me on Facebook. You can tune in to Facebook Live and check out those readings as well. That's actually the FD Gross channel. So that's me, Frank. Yay. But yeah, I'm aside from writing material for Inferion, and working on the grand pianos and piccolos and flutes and all that shit. I do writing on the side as well. So, and I've been working on the sequel to the first Wolfgang book. So, should be good. There's a lot of stuff in there as far as blood and gore and guts, and a lot of black metal, death metal stuff you would find in any kind of story that appeases the appetite of the macabre. So, check it out.
So if I can real quick, I absolutely detest like fantasy books. Like I can't stand them. I'm more of a, I guess, military strategy type guy, like total nonfiction, history and stuff like that. But I gotta say, I took his book Wolfgang out with me on a field exercise, some training that I was doing, and I couldn't put it down. When he says that there's some like gore in there, that's an understatement. Like, he does a real good job of like really making you visualize like the intense gore and like extreme violence that's coming out of the book. It's not only that, like, that's not its only selling point. There's a lot more to it than just that. There's really good storytelling and really good character development and all that stuff. I definitely recommend anybody who's a supporter of Inferion to definitely get that book, man. It's a really good read.
It's almost like as if the music is coming out on the pages as well, the stuff we write. The reality of situations and, overall topics of humanity in general. We're all human, we all make mistakes, and we all fuck up big time. And
except for me.
We all fall that. We all tend down that path of darkness, and there's a lot of that it touches on.
So, Frank, will these books also be available at your shows?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hell
Bring
yeah.
a handful, why not? And it's also available. I mean, you can get it pretty much on Amazon and every single format that's available for books, ebooks, print books, Amazon.com, blah blah blah. And yes, I'll be selling those at our shows as well. I'll even sign it for you if you want.
Whoa.
Yeah. So one more thing that I wanted to put out. We're this year we're also repressing some of the first albums that we put out on cassette. So anytime anybody is fortunate enough to catch us at one of our shows, or even just wants to check out our store online, we'll have those available. All the cassettes from like the first album, the second album, all those will be available.
All right, so is the Inferion Facebook site still the best place where people could go to keep up with you guys, to see what you have coming up, what the tours are, what shows you're playing, when the new album's going to actually come out, all that kind of stuff?
Absolutely, yeah. I would say the Inferion Facebook page, the Twitter page, Inferion.net, also Inferion.net, Inferion.net. that
seems like
that as well.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. Almost seems like nobody really goes on websites that much anymore. Everything's about Facebook and Twitter and all that.
So again, Inferion playing at the Kryptonite Festival. You guys could check them out on their Facebook page. You could check out Frank's book on his Facebook page too. And guys, thank you so much for taking the time out to come on the show to tell us what's going on with you guys and the band, and happy anniversary.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Jet. Thank you for everything you do. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Jet. You're awesome. Thanks for the support.